Hi everyone, welcome to Once Upon a Motorcycle. My name is Nilanjan and I'm standing in front of a huge tire. Well, this is not really a tire, but this is the Payana Car Museum. This is a museum just off the Bengaluru-Mysuru Expressway, and I thought why not pay this museum a visit. I've heard that it has a crazy collection of four-wheelers, both antique and really rare ones. And you know, ever since this place has opened, it's been all the rage. The museum itself is spread across a huge piece of land. There's a cafe here, pure vegetarian restaurant, and you can see, a lot of parking, four-wheelers, two-wheelers. Today being a Sunday, I think a lot of people from Mysore are coming to visit this museum. So we're going to go inside now and see what collection they have. I'm really keen to visit this one ever since I heard about this, but it really looks fantastic. Take a look at this view. That's a massive facade, and it actually feels, when you look at it from the highway, it actually feels as if it's some kind of a tire factory. Here we go. We're now entering the Payana Museum. Now I'm inside the lobby of this museum. They have a ticketing counter that looks like the check-in counter of a five-star hotel. But this is the lobby. I entered through that door here, and there's a nice seating area as well. We are going to go into the museum. The ticket per person is $50, and because I have a GoPro on me, so that's considered as a camera for recording, and that's $100. So totally 150 rupees. And here we have, actually, even before we enter, an exhibit of a car. This is mentioned as a 1962 standard Herald that was made in England. You have a lot of details about the car here. It had a top speed of 117 kilometers per hour, horsepower of 34.5 at 4000 RPM. There was a 4-speed gearbox. And there you have it. Inside this museum is like, it's massive. There are, of course, motor engine cars, but there are also bullock carts, as you can see, and palanquins, and rickshaws, and different kind of wheels. So let's get this tour started. Here we have a majestic looking four-wheeler. This is the Hudson Commodore 6. It's made in USA. Looks like, at least from the exterior, in immaculate condition. Here we have a 1925 Fiat 501. I really like this color. It's pink, and it's got crimson fenders and a gold sort of rim around the front of the car. Soft top. By the looks of it, I think it could seat the driver and maybe 3 more people. That looks really rare and expensive. And over here we have another Fiat, but this time the 521. This is much longer compared to the 501, and this is from 1928. Interestingly, if you can see there, there's a sort of pole that has a light on it, and I think the driver could move the light around to kind of shine on the areas where the headlight may not be able to throw enough light on. And of course, a lot of cars, and I can also see some two-wheelers right opposite to me, but I'm not going to be showing all of them. And the reason I won't be doing that is because I want you guys to come and visit this place and see all of these collection for yourself. So I'm just going to be talking about cars and two-wheelers. We also have a few trucks I can see downstairs that I find interesting, and I'm going to give you a quick small glimpse of this place. 1947 Buick Series 50 Super 8. That car is just massive in stature, and it's got this interesting color scheme going on, blue with white, and the rims are all blue as well. And we here have an Opel Kadett 1930 German automotive vehicle. And this has actually, interestingly, a Mysore number plate. Really makes you wonder about all of the interesting automotive heritage that India has had, which we don't get to see or talk about as much these days. This is one massive beast. This is the 1949 Dama DE36. It's a Mercedes Benz that had a top speed of 137 kilometers per hour and 150 horsepower. This was, as the plaque here reads, owned by those gentlemen behind, the kings of Mysore. Well, the channel name is Once Upon a Motorcycle, and here I actually have a row of Once Upon motorcycles right here. We have the Bajaj Chetak here. This is something that my father actually owned, and then we also have the Kinetic Honda here, KA09. That's Mysore registration. And we have the Bajaj Chetak in green and blue. And this was another famous brand, the LML. Here we have an old-timer, Royal Enfield. I think this is a 350 series bike. I think this is a Bullet 350. And there, the heartthrob Yamaha RX 100, absolute hooligan machine. This here seems like an interesting two-wheeler. Doesn't have any branding on it, but look at this. This is actually a 1957 Triumph. Although I don't see the model number on it. It looks beautiful. I have the workhorse of India, the Bajaj M80 Electronic. I actually have a video about the Bajaj M80 Electronic on my secondary channel. I'm going to link it up here so that all of you can watch it. Now these two cars remind me of all of those classic American movies. These are Chevys. That's a Chevy Bel Air 1955, and this is a 1955 Studebaker Champion Regal Konstega station wagon. Interesting. And I used to think my TVS has a long name. Oh, look at this. Akanksha is absolutely going to dig this color. The purple Peugeot 404 Berlin Grand Tourism. It's a 1960 model. Looks fantastic. Here we have another classic, the Chevy Impala, in this beautiful blue color. And the scale of this four-wheeler is just amazing. I'm just going to step out to show people next to it for context. It's a pretty lengthy machine. It's a 3-speed with top speed of 150 kmph and seat 4. Looks fantastic. A classic American car and a popular movie car. Now, of course, there are a lot of classic vintage cars all around, and most of the form factor is sort of like a sedan. I really don't know what to call them, but they are like hatchbacks or sedan. But I'm more of an adventure type of guy, and we have an interesting car here that looks impressive, and I just feel like I want to drive this one. This is a 1953 Gaz 69. Just look at the sheer size of those wheels. Off-road ready. But this Jeep, should I call it a Jeep? But this car definitely looks like it's straight off PUBG. Alright, so after the ground floor, we are going down a few levels to see some more interesting collection of cars. And these cars seem to be slightly more modern. And I can also see some interesting buses. Do I see the mystery van? Oh man, I need to check this out. It's close enough. This is 1996. I have no idea what the model is, but it's a 1996. It's a car from 1996, and this is what's written about it in Kannada. So for all of you watching who know how to read Kannada, please do let me know what car this is. I think it looks brilliant. So funky, so cool, and check out the wheels on this one. Someone has very painstakingly taken the time to hand paint this. Definitely looks hand painted. Pretty cool. And here we have a all yellow 1985, again written in Kannada. For those of you at home, please tell me what that is. I would just call it the Mr. Bean car, but in yellow. Here we have an interesting looking buggy. This is the 1962 Steyerpuck Hoflinger. Never heard of this brand. Seems German. It looks pretty badass. Well, what do you know? They even have the new Royal Enfield Hanley Black here. Just kidding. This is a 1994 taxi. This is from Maharashtra, MH01. But of course, a lot of people have said that the Hanley Black, which is also my motorcycle, resembles a Bombay taxi. You be the judge of that. Walking around this museum, I have also spotted some nuisance, things that really irritate us on the highways, mostly motorcyclists like us. These trucks, but they look pretty cool in a museum, don't they? This is a Tata Lorry. Looks fantastic. Then we have another one. Just check out the front grille of that. And talking about lorries, we have a big bad boy here. Woo. This is a Kras 260 military truck from 1981. It's made in Ukraine. Look at the sheer size of that. An absolute beast. Really love the camouflage print on this one. It's got 6 absolutely ballistic wheels. Built for the job. Here on the turnstile we have a very interesting looking car. This seems to be like some kind of a custom job. This is a 1934 Morris 15.6. But the interesting thing about this is that the cabin exterior is made out of this wood, and then it's got some jute finish inside. It's got 2 rows of seat, plus some luggage rack at the rear. Here we have Mysore's Pride, Java. Many people don't know, but Javas actually were initially manufactured in Mysore. There was a huge Java factory here that I think used to assemble these products. The engines originally were coming in from abroad, from the Czech Republic, if I'm not wrong. There you have it. Again, in a black and gold kind of a paint job. So of course there are a lot of motorcycles that have this, and some have become classics, like you can clearly see here. 1989 Cadillac Fleetwood. Looks beautiful. Check out the rims. Nice Cadillac badging on that. Looks really nice. This one is a Delhi registered vehicle. Then you have the badging. Looks very sleek. Here we have an Indian favorite, JCB, but not quite. This is the Field Marshal. I think this was the predecessor to today's modern JCBs. Looks way smaller, but looks quite capable. Looks cute in a way. The Field Marshal. Here we have a very interesting exhibit. I think this is a blown up view of a Hindustan Motors Ambassador. And you can see they've taken apart the axle, they've taken apart the doors, the seats, the engine, and they've sort of placed it in a way that it would be fitted into the car. Great way of understanding all of the different car parts, and more importantly to showcase that this car was just so simple and yet so ahead of its time. Breaking off theme from the world of automobiles, we are actually in a subsection within the museum called Manjusha Museum. And here we have some old age handicrafts, machinery, tools. There was a plaque on the door that said that these are artifacts from Tulu Nadu. But yeah, I wish they had a little bit more explanation to it. But some of these things look super deadly. Like, check out that. I'm not sure if it was used for farming or for killing somebody. But this spherical glass spear, very nicely done. And then we have some interesting looking saw here. Probably be used for woodwork. And some huge containers. Insane looking camera I've seen. It looks like a pistol with a grip, but there's a huge camera with a huge lens mounted on it. And I'm not sure if you would need to pull the trigger to shoot an image, like literally shoot an image. Ooh, that looks so cool. Check out this camera. It's a Cinevision camera. It's absolutely huge. I think this was used in movies. The sheer size of that. I think it would fit it with reels on the top, and then it would start spinning, and then you would record this. It's got a lot of buttons on the side. Alright, that brings us to the end of the tour of the Payana Museum. I think I had a good time here. It was interesting. However, the transition from four-wheelers to two-wheelers and then to sort of traditional architecture and then cine cameras, that was a little all over the place. I wasn't prepared for it. But this place, I would recommend that you come here if you're a car buff. Probably spend around half an hour to 45 minutes, depending on how deep you want to get into it. And also, if it helps, I think their logo is really cool. It's a bull pulling the rear of a car. That's pretty interesting. Alright guys, I think here now we are at the end of this video. I hope you had a lot of fun watching this. And if you're ever near Mysore, I would suggest that you please visit this museum. I'd heard a lot about it and I saw it for myself, and I feel like, yeah, you know, if you're an enthusiast, there are some things that you'll find interesting. I do wish they had more information about all the installations that they have, and I wish they had some kind of a guide or somebody who could take you through it. I did inquire and somebody told me that there are guides. Unfortunately, I couldn't spot any. But nevertheless, it's been a fantastic experience coming here. And this was a long time in the making, and you know, I hadn't really planned for it today, but I just saw it as I was riding across. And I thought, let's give it a shot. And here I am, totally worth it, guys. If you also think that the video that you just watched was totally worth it, then you know what to do. Please subscribe to Once Upon a Motorcycle and like and share this video. I'm going to see you in the next one. Till then, take care. Bye guys.